Ambassador Kethavar's mandibles clicked in barely concealed disdain as she reviewed the human application files. The Galactic Academy had received thousands of requests for membership over the millennia, but none quite so audacious as this. Humans, a species that had only achieved faster-than-light travel a mere century ago, were demanding not just observer status, but full membership with voting rights. Preposterous, she muttered, her four eyes scanning the datapad. The humans claimed dominance over their entire solar system, boasted of surviving on a planet they called Earth, a world that would be classified as a Class 7 hazard zone by any civilized species standards. Their application included details that made her exoskeleton shiver, a star that bombarded their world with deadly radiation, weather patterns that could level cities, and geological activity that regularly reshaped entire continents. Yet somehow these creatures had not only survived but thrived, developing technology, art, and philosophy. They had even begun expanding to other worlds within their system. It was disturbing. Academy Prime Zethlin, Kethavar called across, the vast crystalline chamber where the Academy's governing council convened. I believe we have found our solution to the human problem. The ancient ethereal's thoughts rippled through the quantum field, touching Kethavar's consciousness with cool amusement. Speak your proposal, Ambassador. The Crucible Protocols, Kethavar said, her voice carrying across the chamber to where representatives of 47 different species sat in judgment. We invoke the ancient right of trial by ordeal. Murmurs rippled through the assembly. The Crucible Protocols hadn't been used in over 3,000 years, not since the disastrous Velthari incident. They were meant for species whose claims seemed too extraordinary to believe, requiring proof of their capabilities under the most extreme conditions imaginable. You propose to send them to Zarian 9. Academy Prime Zethlin's thoughts carried notes of both interest and concern. The graveyard world, where the Velthari expedition vanished. Indeed, Kethavar's satisfaction was palpable. If humans are truly as resilient as they claim, 30 days on Zarian 9 should prove no challenge. They need only survive long enough for extraction. The vote was unanimous. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the observation deck of the UES Determination, watching the rust-red sphere of Zarion 9 grow larger in the view screen. Behind her, the other 19 members of humanity's first official diplomatic mission worked quietly, their faces grim with purpose. Atmospheric analysis complete, Captain, reported Dr. James Okafor, their xenobiologist. Sulfuric acid storms, methane geysers, surface temperature averaging 800 Kelvin in the shade. Gravity's about 1.4 standard. Oh, and the local fauna appears to be silicon-based predators with a fondness for metal. Radiation levels? Chen asked, though she already knew the answer from the preliminary scans. Lethal to most galactic species within hours. We'll need full environmental suits just to step outside. Chen nodded grimly. The Academy had made their intentions clear. This was meant to be humanity's death sentence wrapped in the pretty bow of diplomatic protocol. 30 days to demonstrate their resilience on a world that had already claimed one civilization. Well, she said, turning. To face her team, they wanted to see what humans can do when challenged. Let's not disappoint them. By day 3, the automated Academy monitoring drones detected something unexpected. Instead of the desperate scramble for survival they had anticipated, the humans had established what appeared to be a functioning base camp in the shelter of a canyon wall. By day 7, that camp had expanded into something resembling a small outpost. Kethavar watched the feeds with growing unease. How are they surviving the acid storms? The technical analyst, a Korth named Velin, manipulated his console with practiced efficiency. They appear to have constructed some form of reactive armor plating. The acid actually strengthens their shelter walls through a chemical process I don't fully understand. And the radiation? They're using it. Captain, they've built what appears to be a radiological power generator. They're converting the ambient radiation into usable energy. Kethavar's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of extreme agitation among her species. This wasn't survival. This was adaptation on an impossible scale. By day 15, the drones captured images that defied explanation. The humans had not only survived and adapted, they had begun to thrive. Their settlement now covered nearly a square kilometer, complete with hydroponic gardens growing in converted storage containers, a workshop where they appeared to be crafting, tools from salvaged materials and local minerals, and what looked suspiciously like recreational facilities. Dr. Elena Vasquez, their xenogeologist, had discovered that the silicon-based predators could be pacified by providing them with refined metals. Rather than fight them, the humans had essentially domesticated them, using the creatures to help excavate and process local ore deposits. "They're mining the planet," Velen reported to an increasingly disturbed Academy Council. "Not just surviving. On it, they're extracting resources and establishing infrastructure." Academy Prime Zethlin's thoughts carried undertones of something that might have been respect. Most fascinating. What of their physical condition? Improving, apparently. The high gravity is strengthening their bone density. The hostile environment has actually enhanced their immune systems. One of them, their medic, reports that several team members are in better physical condition than when they arrived. By day 25, the impossible had become routine. The human settlement had grown into what could only be described as a thriving colony. They had established trade relationships with 3 different species of native silicon-based life forms, created an elegant solution to the methane geysers, converting them into a supplemental power source, and had begun construction on what appeared to be a landing pad for larger vessels. Captain Chen stood in the command center of what had once been their temporary shelter, and was now the administrative hub of humanity's first off-world colony. Around her, screens displayed atmospheric processors working to gradually terraform small pockets of the surrounding area, mineral extraction operations running ahead of schedule, and detailed botanical studies of the surprisingly diverse extremophile ecosystem they'd discovered. "Captain," Dr. Okafor called from his workstation, "we're receiving a transmission from the Academy fleet. They're requesting permission to land for the extraction operation." Chen smiled, the kind of smile that had once made her subordinates nervous during her military career. "Tell them they're welcome to visit, but make it clear that extraction won't be necessary." "Ma'am." Dr. Vasquez has identified 17 mineral deposits that don't exist anywhere else in known space. Our agricultural team has successfully cultivated 3 earth crops in the local soil. And engineering reports that our manufacturing capabilities are already exceeding Earth standard efficiency rates. She paused, looking out through the transparent aluminum windows at the bustling activity of their settlement. "We're not leaving, Doctor. We're expanding." Ambassador Kethvar stood in the landing bay of the Academy vessel, staring at the thriving human settlement spread out across the canyon floor. Lights twinkled in the rust-colored twilight, and she could see humans and silicon-based natives working side by side on construction projects. 30 days to survive, she murmured to herself. We gave them 30 days to survive. Academy Prime Zethlin's presence touched her mind, carrying amusement and something deeper, perhaps the first stirrings of genuine respect for these strange creatures who turned Deathworlds into homes. Indeed, came the ancient thoughts. We dared them to survive. They chose to live instead. Behind them, the formal documents of humanity's unanimous acceptance into the Galactic Academy as full members awaited only the ceremonial signatures. It was, Kethavar reflected, probably the most one-sided diplomatic victory in galactic history. The humans hadn't just passed their test, they had turned it into an opportunity for expansion. They had looked at impossible odds and seen potential. They had faced a challenge designed to destroy them and built something beautiful instead. It was, she had to admit, an impressively human response to the situation. As the Academy delegation prepared for the formal welcoming ceremony, Captain Chen appeared at the top of the settlement's main ramp, flanked by her team and several of their silicon-based neighbors. She was smiling that same unsettling smile, and Kethavar had the distinct impression that humanity's membership in the Academy was going to make things very interesting indeed. Welcome to the galaxy, Academy Prime. Zethlin's thoughts rippled with what might have been anticipation. We have a feeling you're going to fit right in.